So as some of you may know, I live in Washington, D.C., and I thought, you know what, this would be a perfect opportunity to give you an insider's look into this great city. I live in the neighborhood known as Trinidad. Fun fact about Trinidad, it has one of the highest crime rates of all the neighborhoods in D.C. Now, I'd like to say that me and my sister moved here because we're hella gangster and total badasses, and not because we're ignorant little NorCal hippies who like to solve our problems by hugging. I would really like to say that. Now last year, Trinidad was the subject of some really controversial police checkpointing system. What they were doing was checking everybody who entered the neighborhood's driver's license, and if you didn't have a legit business here, you weren't allowed in, essentially blocking off an entire neighborhood to anybody who didn't live in it. Now, statistically speaking, this did dramatically reduce crime. However, constitutionally speaking, this did dramatically reduce citizens' rights. Something about the Fourth Amendment or something? I don't know. But I mean, come on, people, you're overreacting. This is America. This isn't some totalitarian state. I mean, when has this country ever just blatantly ignored our constitutional rights? I mean, you're acting like we live in a country where we restrict who can and can't get married. Or a country where there's places where police could just pull you over for looking like a certain race and asking for your papers. Or a country where torture is okay because you know what, they would do it to us. I mean, this is America. Stuff like that could never happen. Oh, America. Reeling myself back in now. I mean, there really is a crime problem here. In fact, I would like to share a really special story that I hold very close to my heart. So it was a Sunday night and I'd been working late, so I began what for the most part was a really nice walk home. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, and there was this really nice breeze that was causing a beautiful rustling of the leaves. Consequently, this rustling was perfect for muffling a lot of other sounds going on around me. For example, the approach of someone. It was at about that point that I heard a zzz kind of sound and then felt a sharp pain on the back of my neck. It was at that point that I realized I had been tasered. Now, once I was on the ground, a gentleman of large proportions proceeded to take my things. It wasn't very pleasant. And when people say, "Caleb, you got mugged?" I would like to say no. Well, actually, yes. Yes, I got mugged. It sucked. It really sucked. This week's stupid story from Caleb's life brought to you by Tasers R Us. Fun for the whole family. Now, people often ask me, Caleb, what did it feel like to be tased? Now, the only thing I can really liken it to is if someone had cast the Petrificus Totalis spell on me, added a Crucio curse in there for good measure, and then Akio'd all my shit. That's basically what being tasered and mugged is like. But first, do you like how I conned you into thinking I was actually gonna like go outside and take you on a tour of DC?